Leadership, 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 success, success, success. Hi, my name is Jonathan Medina. I'm America's #1 youth motivator. I'm your teacher, I'm your coach, I'm your friend, and I'm your teammate. And today we're talking about leadership and success. It's National Gear Up Week, guys. That means that it's going to be an amazing week for you guys. Thank you so much to Miss Uribe and Mexia ISD for allowing me to be a part of National Gear Up Week. Region 12 Gear Up. We're celebrating college career success, and it's again National Gear Up Week. For staying on today, I want to let you guys know right from the bottom, what are we going to talk about today? I'm going to tell you guys about a prize where I'm going to be giving away $100 to one of the Region 12 Gear Up students. And so I want to give it to you guys. I'll tell you at the end how you can be entered to win. And then I'm going to talk about personal pandemic. I'm going to be talking about grit. I'm going to be talking about trust. And I'm going to be talking about ninth grade. But first, you may be wondering, who is Jonathan Medina? Who is the person that's talking to you guys today? And so first, I want you guys to know that normally if I was going to speak at your school, or maybe we were having a camp, maybe we were doing multi-day trainings for you guys, we'd be talking about it would most likely be that Miss Uribe would introduce me and she would say something like, spoken to over 1,000 schools nationwide at places such as Harvard, Texas A&M, University of Texas, and schools all across the United States from New York City to Los Angeles. They might mention that I've reached over 1 million people in live audiences, that I was a Georgetown University football player, which I think some of you guys went to go visit during probably the annual conference. And then I've been featured on ESPN, NBC, ABC, Fox, and TED. Best-selling author. That's a new one of my new book, Student Leadership Playbook, which many of you guys will get for free. And then I've also broken the record at McDonald's for the most Happy Meals eaten in one day. Go ahead and get in the comments. Let me know what you think my record was. It's an unofficial record, so you can't go look it up or anything like that. But my record, and let me know what your record is if you've ever tried to do something like that crazy. Now, before I was breaking records at McDonald's, before I was a top motivational speaker in the country, all started off when I was just a student, and I had a vision for what I wanted my life to be like. I had a vision for going to college. I had a vision for writing a book. I had a vision for speaking and impacting the world. So I want to know what your vision is. A lot of people, they talked about 2020 being the year of vision. They were saying 2020 vision, but a lot of people have abandoned their vision. A lot of people are no longer saying that. They're mostly complaining about 2020. But I know that you guys at Gear Up, I know all of you guys in Mexia, I know all of you guys are going to have a 2020 vision that's strong, and you're going to keep it up. And so I want to know what your 2020 vision is. So go ahead and go in the comments and write the word vision, and then write out what your vision is. Write out what your goals are, what your dream is. I want to know what your vision, your goals, your dreams are, and so do all the people at Gear Up. And so I want you to write that comment. I also want you not to just write it down as a comment. I want you to write it down on a sheet of paper, but most importantly, I want you to write it down in your mind, in your heart, and all the way deep down in your gut. And so I want you to write down your 2020 vision. I also want to know what your 2024 vision. I want to know when you imagine what your graduation is going to be like. I want you to imagine what it's going to feel like. I want you to imagine what is the cake that you're going to have at your party when you graduate. What are your parents going to say? Are your parents going to cry when they see you walk the stage? How's it going to feel? How are you going to feel when you walk across the stage? How's it going to feel when you shake the principal's hand and you know that you're finished? How's it going to feel when you throw your cap up in the air? I want you to know. I want you to think about what that feeling is going to feel like. I want you to imagine that specific feeling. And I love how Region 12, they care about your college success. They care about your career success. And so I want to know, what is your 2030 vision? You know, long after college, long after maybe, unless you've gone on to get like a doctor or something, but you know, what is your 2030 vision like? What are you going to be doing? What is your career? What kind of people are you going to be helping with your job? What kind of stuff are you going to do? What kind of income are you going to make? What kind of family are you going to have? What kind of house will you have? What kind of car will you drive? I want to know about your 2030 vision. You know, for me, I'll never forget my vision when I started football in middle school. I had a vision that I was going to be this great player, but I was terrible. I put my shoulder pads up on, I put my helmet on. I looked in the mirror and I was like, man, I'm a stud. But my coach, he looked at me and he said, son, you're terrible. Son, you're slow. Son, you're no good. And he put me on the B team. And I was sad and depressed, but my coach looked at me and he said, son, it doesn't matter where you start, it's where you finish. Use this year to be a year where you make a lot of improvement. And so a lot of people, they're giving up on 2020. They're saying like, oh, I'm going to wait until the storm is over. They might say something like, oh, I'm going to wait until everything is back to normal. But then there's students like you. Students like you who are taking the time to watch videos like this. Students like you who are going to engage in National Gear Up Week. Students like you who are going to sign up for every single program that Region 12 Gear Up has. And so there's students like you who are going to improve every single year, every single moment, every single day. And so I want you to take advantage of National Gear Up Week, do all the fun activities that they have, but also think about how it applies to your vision for your long-term goals, how it applies to your vision for your career, how it applies to your vision for your college success. And so I believe in you, and write the word vision down one more time. If you want to circle it, make sure you'll never forget it. And one of the things that I want you to do is I want you to trust in the process. I want you to trust in the process. Gear Up is, they have success all across the country, but specifically they have so much success in Texas. I want you to trust in the process that Gear Up is going to do for you. I want you to trust in the process that Miss Uribe is going to put you through. I want you to trust in the process of everything that's going to go on in Gear Up, because it helps students all across the country to have that vision for going to college, have the vision of having career success. And so I want you to trust in the process. For me, that process all began when I was in 7th grade. I'll never forget joining Gear Up for the first time and us taking that first college trip. No one in my family had ever gone to college. No one was talking about college. And for me, going on that college trip helped me to get the vision that I could go to college. So in 7th grade, they put us on a bus. We drove all the way from South Texas all the way to College Station. I'll never forget getting off the bus, or even before we got off the bus, I'll never forget seeing the trees as we drove into the area where College Station is. I remember seeing the buildings and thinking, wow, this is such a huge place, because where I live is kind of rural, so there's not very many big buildings. And so I'm seeing these big buildings where there's classrooms. I'm seeing these big buildings where there's dorm rooms, and I'm thinking to myself, I can't wait someday for when I am a college student. I can't wait until I am staying in dorms just like these. I can't wait for the day where I am participating. And so I want you guys to be engaged. I want you to trust in the process, and I want you to absolutely have a vision. And so be like me. I attended that trip, and I caught the vision in my mind, and I was like, oh, I'm going to go to college. And I trusted that Gear Up was going to be the program that helped me to get there. I trusted that my teachers were going to help me to get there. I trusted that everyone around me was going to help me get there. And then I trusted in myself that I could myself do all of my parts so I could go to college. And so a big part of it, I just mentioned those systems, trusting the process, trusting the system. So every system is perfectly designed to get the results that it gets. And so Gear Up is one of those programs, one of those things that where you are going to get the results. It's a system. It's been done. Gear Up is a trusted organization nationally. They do amazing things. And so if you would just trust in the system of what they are doing, you're going to get the results that you want to get. So that vision that you have of you going to college, that vision that you have of having an amazing career, that vision that you have of being successful in life, Gear Up is a great system, and it's perfectly designed to help you get the results it gets, to help you get the results of being college ready, to help you get the results of being career ready, to help you get the results of being college and career successful. So I want you to write down this whole quote. Every system is perfectly designed to get the results it gets, Now, I'm not sure about you, but I want to have the most amazing 2020. It doesn't matter if there's a pandemic. I'm going to be all after my goals. I'm going to be chasing my dreams down. I'm going to follow the systems that I know will help me to be successful. So what I want you to do is I want you to have the best year, even in a pandemic, even if schools continue to be shut down, even if everything is being the way everything is shut down, whether it's the community, all the kinds of stuff is shut down right now, but you could still have the best year ever. For instance, I'll never forget my freshman year of high school. I told you I went from being a terrible football player. I had a goal of being a really good football player, so I used that 1 year in 7th grade to get better, and then I used 8th grade to get better, and then now I'm in 9th grade, and by then I've grown a little bit. I'm bigger, I'm stronger, I'm faster, and I'm so committed to my goal of having the most amazing freshman year That every single day, all summer long, I'm staying at one of my friend's house, and every single day we're running to the school. It's about a 2-mile jog, and so we jog over to the school, we work out, and then we play basketball all afternoon. And so that's my normal routine every single day of the summer going into my freshman year, because I want to make that the best year ever. And so I'm so committed, and I'm doing that every single day. And one day I see my grandfather right outside of the school. He's parked across the street. There's a restaurant there. I see his truck. And I think to myself, let me go in and say hi to my grandfather. I haven't seen him all summer. My grandfather would always choose to give me $5, $10. And so I'm thinking, oh, I'm going to have like a nice little meal, a nice little snack that I was planning on having with the money. And I walk in and I see my grandfather. I go over to say hi to him. He sees me and he instantly says, Mijo, I've been looking for you. Son, I've been looking for you. Your mom is in jail and she's going to be there for a long time. And I remember thinking to myself that this moment that I'd been so afraid of, because I was aware, I knew my mom was doing a lot of bad stuff, so I thought this might happen. Every time someone came to the house, I didn't know who they were, what they were doing. Is this going to be a policeman that takes my mom to jail because of the stuff that she did? And then it finally has happened. And I was worried that my family was going to get split apart, and that's exactly what happened that year. My family gets split apart. I'm the oldest of 6, and so all my siblings, they get separated. I have to go move in with my grandfather, and my grandfather was a very hardworking man. He was about to retire, and instead of retiring, he had to keep on working to support me. And his work was working out in the hot sun every single day in the fields. I had to join him for work because his physical strength wasn't there anymore. Things were so tough and so difficult. But I still had a vision for what I wanted for my life. I still had a vision for what I was going to do. And so even though things were completely different, even though that year was completely different, I was living in a different house, my family got separated, my mom was in prison, there was a lot of reasons why things were difficult. The same just like this year. I was just experiencing my own personal pandemic. This one is a global pandemic, and I'm not trying to say it's not a huge deal, because for me, I personally lost one of my grandparents, and I've had multiple family members in the hospital, and so it's been a huge, this pandemic has hit my family hard. But I still have to hold on to the belief that I can have an amazing 2020. I still have to hold on to the belief that I could go and do amazing things. I still have to maintain my spirit. I must continue to trust in the system that I can still have an amazing 2020. And I know that you can still have an amazing 2020. I know that you can still have an amazing 2020. I know that even though there's a pandemic, you can still have college and career success. You can still go and have college tours. That might be that you visit them digitally, but you could still have the tours. There's a lot of students out there that are going to say, I'm just going to wait until everything's over. I'm just going to wait until things are back to normal. I'm just going to wait until... You can wait until the world changes, or you can be the one to go and change the world. And so what I want you to do is I want you to make the decision saying, I decide that I am going to have a vision. I decide that I'm going to trust. I decide that I'm going to follow the system. I decide that I'm going to have college and career success. And so what I want you to do is I want you to make the decision. My college coach used to tell us that decisions determine destiny. And so what I want you to do is I want you to think about that vision. That vision, I believe that it's in your heart because that's part of your destiny. And so what I want you to do is I want you to make the decision this year that you are going to accomplish your destiny. Make the decision this year that you're going to follow and have success. Make the decision this year that you are going to have the best year. Even though there's a pandemic, you're going to have college success. Even though there's a pandemic, you're going to have career success. Even though there's a pandemic, you're going to have the most amazing National Gear Up Week. And we want to celebrate that with you. We want to celebrate your vision. We want to celebrate you going to college. We want to celebrate you having an amazing career. We want to celebrate you having the best year, even though there is a pandemic. It's National Gear Up Week. Make sure that you enter all the programs. We want to give you some amazing prizes. And so, or I want to give you an amazing prize. I want to give one of you guys $100 to use on whatever you want. It's National Gear Up Week. The way that you enter is you're going to have to use social media, I want you to get on Instagram. That's what I use mostly. So I want you to send or to tag me on any posts that you do during National Gear Up Week. Whether, every time that you are doing some stuff with Miss Uribe, when you guys post about National Gear Up Week, I want you to tag me. I also think it's a great idea for you to tag ED partnerships. So last year, I got to work with some students and we were doing school assemblies with them for National Gear Up Week, and they got featured on the National Gear Up Week Instagram. So all across the country, other Gear Ups, they saw what they were doing. I want you to put hashtag Gear Up Works, hashtag National Gear Up Week. And again, don't forget, it's National Gear Up Week. That means that you're going to have the most amazing week. You have the most amazing things that you're going to be, the programming that's going to go on. I want you to use this week. Every time that you put a college shirt on, like I'm wearing the UT shirt right now. Every time that you post a picture from one of your trips or all the things, whatever. I don't know what you guys are going to do for National Gear Up Week, but every time you do it, I want you to remember that all of that is putting that vision. Without a vision, students lose. And so I want you to remember that all of those things that you participate in for National Gear Up Week, they're putting that vision in your mind. They're putting that vision in your heart. They're putting that vision deep down inside. And so all the stuff that you do during National Gear Up Week is going to help you to accomplish your goals, accomplish your dreams, and help you to be college and career successful. I'm so thankful for Miss Uribe and Mexia ISD for trusting me to be a part of this, but also trusting Gear Up to be a big part of what helps your school district take to the next level, helps your school district to help these students to be college ready, helps these students to be career ready, and to have success in life. So thank you to Mr. Bartlett and Mr. White, and thank you to Sheila Anderson over at the National Gear Up office. And don't forget, students, that without a vision, the students lose. I know that you guys are going to have your vision. I know that you're going to trust the process. I know that you guys are champions. I want you to write it down right now in the chat. Put vision, trust, and I am a champion. Put vision, trust, and I am a champion. I close out all my speeches with that. I think you've had some of my friends be there before as well. And so remember that you are a champion, and don't forget, it's game time.